All right, guys, so this is going to be a how to solo series starting with the key of A major. Okay, so we're going to keep things very, very simple here. We're starting in A major. We're going to be playing to an A major backing track. And we're going to use a major pentatonic scale, which sounds like this. It's going to be 5, 7 from the top going down, 5, 7 on the E, 4, 7 on the A, 4, 7 on the D, 4, 6 on the G, 5, 7 on the B, 5, 7 on the E. So one more time, top to bottom, it's going to be 5, 7, 4, 7, 4, 7, 4, 6, 5, 7, 5, 7. Okay, and we're going to use just this one shape to solo over A major. Why are we starting in this position? Because our root note is going to be A. Whenever we start soloing in any key, your root note is the most important place to start because that determines if you are in key or not. If it's going to be A major, I'm using the low E here because it's very easy for me to find my notes. I have the string memorized, E, F, G, and A. So we're going to start on A. It's very simple that way for me to start on any key this way. If it's in D, I'm going to start over here. If it's in E, I'm going to start over here. If it's in B, I'm going to start over here. So one more time, we're starting in A. And we're going to start on 5 on the low E. That's going to be your root note, A major. Okay, great. So now I want to give you a little tip. This is called a 1-4-5 technique. We have our starting point, which is A, correct? That's going to be number 1. A, now we're going to count up to 4 and 5 from A. A, B, C, D, and E. So we have A, D, and E. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So what that means is we can start in A, we can move to D, and we can move to E. And all of these are going to be corresponding notes for the key of A, okay, because they're all in the same family. We can use this 1-4-5 technique for every solo we do, okay? And depending on the track, we may have to do different patterns. It might have to be a 1-5-6, it might have to be a 2-4-7. It all depends on the rhythm and what the backing track is giving you. Okay, so we're going to use a 1-4-5 for this because it's usually the best way to go about it. We're going to do an A, D, and an E, starting on 5, 10, and 12. We're going to continue to use the same shape. 5, 7, 4, 7, 4, 7, 4, 6, 5, 7, 5, 7. Same exact thing moving over to 10 on the low E. 10, 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, 9, 10, 9, 11, I'm sorry. 10, 12, 10, 12. Same thing one more time on the 12th fret. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 12, 14. Then we're going to do 11, 14. Then 11, 13. Then we're going to do 12, 14, 12, 14. Okay, great. So now we're going to use that same shape in those positions, 5, 10, and 12. I start on 5. Then we're going to come up to D, right? And when you notice, if you've studied major pentatonic scales, you know that these positions kind of switch up these notes here. But I want you to keep the same shape that you used here. In other words, I want you to use 10, 12, 9, 12. Keep the same shape as you come down. And we're gonna use that as a way to kind of connect into our minors, okay? So play the backing track. Starting on 5. what I'm doing here is I'm using that same shape in 5th position, 10th position, and 12th position, okay? I'm starting it with that root note here, A, D, and E. And yes, the scale is kind of changing, but only when I want to use that half step into the next position. So for example, when I'm going from 5 to 7 to 10 to 12, it's actually supposed to be 9, 12, 9, 12, right? But I'm using that 10, which is the same shape as 5. I'm using that 10 here to build some sort of bridge in between both positions here. Oh, sorry, one more time. So that right there, that's the kind of mellowness that I like to put into my music. You know, I love the way that sounds. So I'm using this technique here to at least keep myself in position and in key, but I'm using those spaces in between to build some sort of bridge between them all. Instead of just doing 1, 2, and 3. You can do that to start off to get yourself in a good rhythm, but I want you to try to connect each position here with each other fluidly. Okay, trying to figure out how to start and end in each position. What did we go over today? Very simple. When you look up a backing track in A major, your root note is going to be A. Very simple. Then we're going to use the 1-4-5 technique. We're going to count up from A, B, C, D, and E. A, D, and E. Okay, cool. Then we're going to use those as our root notes. A, D, and E. And we're going to use the same shape of the scale to use in all 3 positions. Any questions? Let me know. Have fun.